Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and this is Starfish Corner. This video, I normally do a 3-card pull, but this video is going to be on fairies and unicorns. And they actually are related. And as you know, I come from a Celtic path. I'm here, that's my insight. And I know that there are many other belief systems, but today I'm going to address my information and belief about fairies and unicorns from the Celtic traditions. Fairies fascinate all of us. To some, they offer tantalizing glimpses of other worlds. To others, a subversive counterpoint to human arrogance and weakness. Every period in every country, poets and storytellers have described a magical world inhabited by elfin spirits, capricious and vengeful or beautiful and generous, and have held our thrall for generations. Ireland offers us a fascinating glimpse at the Irish perception of the other world, an alternative realm parallel to our own, but just beyond earthly existence and our own temporal sphere. From ancient times, it was believed that a supernatural race has lived in the hills, tombs, and beneath the sea or lakes on faraway islands. In literature, they are traditionally known as the Tuatha Dé Danann, the old gods of Ireland, such as Lugh, the Dagda, Brigid, etc. These were seen as living in the underworld, parallel to our own, but concealed from view. So when it comes to the origin story, Irish lore says that they actually arrived on clouds, and when they descended to Ireland, they sent the clouds away so that they would not be tempted to turn back. They were on the ground for many centuries, but following their defeat from the Milesians, or the Celts, they were forced to live underground in the hills and mounds of the other world. These alternative realms have been described as Magmel, which is the pleasant plain, Iman el-Bach, the fortress of apples, the land of promise, the Isle of Women, Avalon, or the Tirnanog, the land of youth. Fairies are everywhere in nature and are an essential component of the health of our planet and the universe. They are nature's angels who watch over and guide plants, animals, birds, and all of the natural elements. Sometimes fairies can even act as guides for humans, especially if those human beings are deeply connected to and respectful of nature. Fairies are elemental beings of light who are much closer to the physical world than angels. That is why they can sometimes display physical evidence of their energy. Their bodies are of a higher vibrational energy than purely physical beings, but they can sometimes shapeshift into a visible presence for those who are gentle, sincere, and respectful of them and their important role in nature. The universe is filled with all kinds of benevolent help for us here on earth in the form of angelic beings, guides, and other powerful, loving beings. But the availability of that help is reliant upon our desires and free will. If we send out a signal that we no longer care about nature on this earth, then we do nothing to attract that help to ourselves. Fairies appear in folklore, from ancient tales of medieval chivalry to romantic Victorian literature and more modern tales. Fairies gained popularity during the Romanticism of the Victorian era, inspiring the image of beautiful, tiny winged creatures helping mortals they meet. The Irish still have a very strong belief in fairies and still take care to honor them and to not make them angry. All over Ireland there are ring forts. The Hill of Tara is possibly Ireland's most famous and oldest ring fort. It is older than the pyramids of Egypt or Stonehenge in England and dates back to the Neolithic period. It is also one of the best places to spot fairies in Ireland. Today, a much-visited fairy tree stands on the hill of Tara's sacred grounds. Visitors come from all over the world to make a wish or leave a gift for the land's mythical residents, and sightings of fairies are not unheard of either. There are also fairy rings that are made up of circles of fairy trees, clover, and toadstools or mushrooms. It is said that you are never dare to destroy or fall asleep near or in a fairy circle. You will be taken to the fairy world, and if you eat or drink anything, you will have to remain there. There are recorded tales of men, women, and children who have disappeared for years, only to come back having felt they were only gone for a short time. Time in the fairy realm is just like the universe. It is not linear, except to us. Most houses will make sure to leave small gifts of milk, honey, or vanilla extract for the fairies to drink. Shiny things also please the fairies. I honor my gift of having a fairy who is included in along with my guides, angels, and others to navigate this third density world and to help honor my soul contract. You can go to www.gutenberg.org. It is a fabulous site where they have digitally scanned in books as old as the 1600s, and you can thousands of stuff, cookbooks, planning, war, fairies, folklore, riddles. There's thousands and thousands of books, and they're free to read, or they sometimes ask for a small donation. But Gutenberg.org, you can read. The one book that I have is The Ancient Legends of Ireland by Lady Wilde for free. This book is full of Irish legend and folklore. The site is dedicated to digitally scanning ancient and old books so that they are not lost forever. Just put in the title of most books and you can see if they have uploaded it yet. You are able to copy and paste from most pages. And I must state a word of caution though. In the book, spells, potions, elixirs, or drinks, and enchantments are printed along with other information. It is not a problem if you read this information to yourself, but as most of you likely know, when we state out loud our wishes, prayers, and spells, etc., it could cause unintended actions to come into play. Since the universe is listening, there are also herbs and plants listed to cure different ailments. I would also use caution since some of the plants and potions could cause harm. Please consult with an herbologist or research the plants and remedies for any cautions. As then we come to unicorns and how they're related. In the Book of Ancient Legends of Ireland by Lady Wilde, she describes so beautifully the horses of the Tuatha Dé Danann, the fairy race in Ireland. And she begins, the breed of horses they reared could not be surpassed in the world, fleet as the wind, with the arched neck and the broad chest and quivering nostril, and the large eye that showed they were made of fire and flame, and not of dull heavy earth. And the Tuatha made stables for them in the great caves of the hills, and they were shod with silver and had golden bridles, and no slaves were allowed to ride them. It was a splendid sight when the cavalcade of the Tuatha Dé Danann knights, 70 steeds, meaning 7 feet tall, I believe, very tall, each with a jewel on his forehead like a star, and 70 horsemen, all the sons of kings, in their green mantles, fringed with gold, and golden helmets on their head, and golden greaves on their limbs, and each knight having in his hand a golden spear. So you can kind of see where this is going, these beautiful white horses. And if they're all lined up, you see their majesty and the stars on their head. And if you looked at the knights, I guess, on the side, it would seem as if a golden spear is coming out of there. So that could be, some, and then it continues. And so they lived for 100 years and more. By their enchantments, they could resist the power of death. Then fleet as the wind, the horses galloped away and finally plunged into the lake. They were seen no more. So ended the great race of the mighty Tuatha Dé Danann horses in Ireland, the like of which has never been seen again all over the world, for all their majesty and beauty. Unicorns are found in tapestry and have cave paintings as far back as the Paleolithic period. I believe that since the world was once more connected by land than water, the stories of these creatures could have been seen, and then the stories of them traveled to other parts of the world. The magic and wonder of the unicorn were the horses of the Tuatha. It would then make sense that since I consider myself a child of the Tuatha, I would be given the magic and wonder of such mighty animals to help me be a part of this planet during this time, to help me fulfill my soul contract. And what I have here are some photos of the the fairy tree. Usually the tree is of rowan. Now this is a really huge picture, and I'm going to try to do this. It would be better if you could Google these. You can Google the Hill of Tara, the Tara Fort, but this is actually the rowan trees, and you can see there's ribbons and papers. This tree is so highly decorated. People come from all over the world leaving their wishes, their dreams, their desires, you know, their wishes for whatever they may be doing or wanting in their lives. And this is a really good example of a toadstool fairy ring. If you see something like this, do not destroy it, do not pick it. If you sit on the outside, legend has it, be careful to go to sleep. But most likely, if you find one of these, it is a fairy ring, and you can connect with the fairies. Just leave it be and ask them. And all over Ireland, they have what are called fairy lines. Now, these are traditionally places where you do not build. You do not destroy the fairy lines. Generally, what people do if they wish to build houses, even to this day, they will leave a pile of bricks in the four corners of where they wish to build. If they come back the next day or two and the bricks are not disturbed, it is safe to build that building. If the bricks have been disturbed, they do not build there. That means they're crossing a fire line. And these are actually the lines that you can get. It's the Where Wishes Come From map of Ireland. It's Guide to Finding Fairies. And this, if you notice, has numbers on it, like it connects the dots. So if you connect the dots 1, 2, 3, you can see the fairy lines. And this is traditionally where things are not built. You don't disturb them. Years ago, there was a car dealership, a car factory that wished to build, and they didn't heed the warnings, and it was not very successful, and that is documented. You can look it up. Now here I have 2 famous tapestries showing unicorns, so their history does go back. This is one, and then this is a famous one, the Lady and the Unicorns. And as you can see, it's a very old tapestry. It was found in some of the monasteries, and it's actually a really famous tapestry. You can find tons of other images on public Google searches. So I honestly believe that there is some evidence based on our metaphysical beings for fairies and unicorns. If you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below, or send me an email at starfishmsw. And it was, again, thank you so much. If you liked this video, please share, like, and subscribe. And I wish to thank you for tuning in. And again, comment or send me an email at starfishmsw@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer your questions. Thank you so much. And again, the brightest of blessings for everything wonderful to everyone. Thank you.